Good afternoon and welcome to Matador News. I'm Mahina Haina.
And I'm Sharon Shin. Graduation is just around the corner and tickets continue to be the hot topic. Matador News reporter Katie Foskey has more on the story in the newsroom.
CSUN seniors were able to reserve up to 7 tickets for this year's commencement ceremony. The deadline was this past Monday, April 14th at midnight. Manager of Support Services Ken Primo says any unclaimed tickets will be distributed back into the general pool.
When you claimed the tickets and printed them out, there was an option to request additional tickets if they became available. And so the people who actually claimed their tickets at that time were also able to request additional tickets, and many, many did.
Now you remember CSUN President Diane Harrison announced last fall graduating seniors would be limited to 4 tickets. Students were upset about this, saying it wouldn't be enough to accommodate their family and friends. After much debate and student outrage, students did get the ticket limit raised to 7. This has graduating seniors changing their tune and embracing this new decision.
Everyone has the same number. If they want less, they don't have to get all 7. But of course, it's going to make seating more easier, and it'll be safer as well.
Putting a date on that or a deadline on that, it's important for the university to have leeway time in case we needed to expand or shrink or anything like that. So yes, it's unfortunate for the students who were unable to print out their tickets and who necessarily didn't receive the email or received it and then said, oh, I'll get back to it, and then they forgot about the deadline. But that all goes in with being a responsible college student and a responsible adult.
Graduation is quickly approaching within these next 5 weeks. Back to you in the studio.
The annual Juried Art Student Show started Monday. Robert Zamora is live in the Sundial with more on the story.
I'm here with Exhibitions Coordinator Michelle Jacopuzzi. Thank you for joining me today. Can you please talk a little bit about the art show and what's going on with the art show right now?
Sure. It happens every April. It's open to all CSUN students, not just art students. And we invite all the students to come in for a couple days. They can bring up to 3 artworks, any medium, as long as it fits in the front door. And once it's judged the 3rd day, and we have outside jurors for that. And this year we have 82 works in the show.
What are some of the prizes for the winners that the judges select?
It's cash prizes, and it's from donated by the Arts Council for CSUN.
How long has this exhibit been going on?
As long as I can certainly remember hearing about, I would imagine perhaps ever since there might have been an art department here. It's pretty standard to have something like that.
And can you just mention some of the artworks that are in, some paintings, some structures?
Sure. We have all mediums. We have sculpture, we have video, paintings, ceramic, animation, one of which I don't know if you've seen is it's sort of like a cape. It's made of lace and acrylic, I believe.
And how long is this event going on? When will it end?
It ends on May 10th, and we will have a reception this Friday night, and that's when we'll announce the Jurors Awards.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Back to you guys in the studio.
Ex-Bell Administrator Robert Rizzo is sentenced to 12 years in prison. He is also ordered to pay $8.8 million in restitution to the city of Bell. Rizzo became the face of widespread corruption and was once the highest paid municipal administrator in California. He gave out city funds to different businesses and co-workers, as well as falsifying public records. Rizzo has already been sentenced to 33 months in federal prison for tax fraud. It is unclear if he will have to serve his sentences back to back.
Former New York mayor and media tycoon Michael Bloomberg plans to spend $50 million this year in his new project, Everytown for Gun Safety. He says he wants to stop the influence of the National Rifle Association. He says women, especially moms, are going to be the main demographic target to stop the gun violence. The group will focus on 15 states that have liberal gun laws, such as Texas, Montana, and Indiana. The ultimate goal of the organization is to influence those in charge to create stronger gun laws and to elect gun safety candidates to office.
Nearly 300 people are missing in the cold waters of the Yellow Sea after a ferry sank off the coast of South Korea. The boat was headed to an island resort in Jeju, and the majority of its passengers were students and teachers. Military divers were able to save 164 people, but 4 passengers have been pronounced dead. Officials don't know why the ship sank, but surviving passengers say a loud bump was heard before the ship began to sink. The Coast Guard arrived within 30 minutes of the call, but chilly waters and fast currents have made the rescue procedure a challenge. This maritime disaster could be one of the deadliest in Korean history.
NATO Secretary General Anders Fogh Rasmussen says NATO is increasing its military presence in Ukraine in response to what it calls pro-Russian aggression in the country.
We call on Russia to be part of the solution, to stop destabilizing Ukraine.
Russian forces continue to tighten their grip on eastern cities of Ukraine. Ukraine military's defense against pro-Russian forces is rather small compared to the well-armed Russian military, and some Ukraine forces are reportedly switching sides. The rising tensions precede talks among the two countries, as well as U.S. and European Union, scheduled tomorrow in Geneva.
The Budweiser Made in America Festival is moving to Los Angeles. Rosie has more on the story.
Thank you, Shannon. Jay-Z is packing up the Made in America Music Festival and bringing it to the West Coast. The rapper joined Mayor Eric Garcetti and other dignitaries today at City Hall. Jay-Z says the 2-day festival will be over Labor Day weekend in downtown Los Angeles Grant Park. In previous years, Made in America was held on the East Coast in Philadelphia. Artists such as Rick Ross, Passion Pit, Skrillex, and Beyoncé performed last year. Not everyone is happy about the big announcement. LA City Councilman Jose Huizar asked the city to withhold permits for the festival until the city found out how it would disrupt its downtown business. Paul Walker's 2 younger brothers will help finish the sequel to Fast and the Furious 7. Walker died in a high-speed car crash in November. Both of Walker's brothers will help film the action shots missing in the movie. Paris, a bridge, and thousands of locks. Find out how 2 American women are making waves in the city of love. David Lujan has the story.
Paris, the city of love and lights. Many come from all over the world to experience the romantic ambiance.
We're celebrating our 10-year anniversary.
For a honeymoon, I thought it was a perfect trip.
They have all come to this spot to leave behind a symbol of their love on the famous Pont des Arts Bridge, or as it has become known to most of the world, the Lovelock Bridge. Their mission so far?
Really hard. There's a lot of locks.
With an estimated over 700,000 padlocks on the bridge. But the reality is, their locks may only be here for a short period of time. Lisa Ansimo and Lisa Taylor Huff are 2 American women who have started the No Love Lock campaign, a petition launched in February of 2014 with currently over 1,700 signatures to have all the locks removed from the famous bridge. The concern is over what is now 93 metric tons of the locks being held by a simple footbridge, posing a serious risk to the passing boats below.
But if it makes the bridge unsafe, I understand wanting to not do it.
We reached out to Lisa Ansimo and Lisa Taylor Huff, the 2 Americans behind the petition, for a comment. They did not respond to our emails.
I mean, it would be kind of sad to know that it's all gone.
I know for a fact that from time to time, the Paris city takes some locks out.
We'll just put another one. The beauty is, if they keep taking them down, it'll just give the opportunity for other people to keep replenishing. In Paris, France, I'm David Lujan, reporting for Valley View News.
The locks on the bridge are safe for now. New Mayor Anne Hidalgo has yet to comment on the petition. And now let's go to Courtney with the latest in sports.
The NCAA has proposed college athletes receive unlimited meals and snacks. This is in response to UConn basketball star Shabazz Napier's recent comments about how college students lack of money for food.
We do have hungry nights that we don't have enough money to get food, and sometimes, needed money is, money is needed. But I don't think, you should stretch it out to hundreds of $1,000s for players, because that's not, a lot of times guys don't know how to handle themselves for money.
If approved, Division I schools could provide their athletes food in addition to the meal plan covered by the student's scholarship. The NCAA has been discussing changes to its meals rules for months. Spanish football's two major teams, Real Madrid and Barcelona, will face off today for the Copa del Rey final. The two teams have met 6 times in this tournament and each has won 3 times. This makes today's meeting a tiebreaker between the two. The World Cup trophy has arrived in America. The trophy's first stop was in Washington Dulles Airport. This is the first day of its 4-city tour before it heads to Brazil for the soccer's Grand Festival. Coca-Cola will bring the FIFA World Cup trophy to Los Angeles. The trophy was welcomed by Vice President Joe Biden and Secretary of State John Kerry, along with other government officials. And now back to Rosie with the business update.
Thank you, Courtney. Bank of America has reported a $6 billion loss in legal charges. Most of that amount is from a previously announced settlement with the Federal Housing Finance Agency, and the rest is from mortgage-related matters. The Charlotte, North Carolina bank reported the losses this morning. The news sent the stock down some 2.5%. Last year, the company made a profit of more than $1 billion. The bank has seen a sharp decline in its mortgage business due to slow housing market. The airlines have used high oil prices as a reason to raise fees and look for ways to cut other costs. Despite the high cost of fuel and the fact it accounts for 1/3 of an airline's expenses, carriers have been able to profit by charging extra for checking baggages and raising other fees. Drink carts have been replaced with lighter ones, and planes now operate with one engine running. Last year, U.S. carriers burned through 16 billion gallons of jet fuel at a cost of almost $50 billion. That's more than twice as much as 10 years ago. And now we go to Courtney with health.
A new study shows pregnant women who are obese or overweight have an increased risk of having a stillborn baby. Women with a body mass index over 40 are 3 times more likely to have complications. The study published this week in the Journal of the American Medical Association says even women who have a BMI over 25 can have an increased risk. Experts say women need to be at their optimum health and plan what their reproductive goals will be before deciding to have a baby. The Affordable Care Act's health insurance charges may be less than people expected. The Congressional Budget Office says the Obamacare plan will total a little more than $1 trillion over the next 10 years, not the $1.2 trillion originally estimated. It is also expected that premiums will not go through the roof as many had thought, but premiums are expected to rise gradually. This is all positive news for the White House that is under political pressure. Man's Best Friend takes over CSUN today as the K-9 unit is introduced to campus. Our very own Matador reporter, Jared Neely, is in the newsroom with more on the story.
Dogs are taking over Cal State Northridge. Police departments from all over Southern California came to showcase their K-9 units and show off the dog's ability to listen and follow instructions. The police dogs who participated in the first annual Meet the Dogs event were all shepherds. Most of the shepherds are imported from Germany or the Netherlands and are trained to sniff out narcotics and explosives. All of the shepherds live with their accompanying officer, and you can see that their bond is strong. One of the dogs featured during the event was Chase. This K-9 dog has been with his officer for over a month and is specially trained in explosives.
The K-9 program actually is quite popular here on this campus. So we just kind of wanted to take the opportunity to bring it to the students, faculty, and staff, see what the dogs do, and just get out there and shake paws.
Cal State Northridge Police Department K-9 unit started in 2005 and is one of 2 K-9 units in the CSU system. Current and former CSUN Police Department K-9 teams have provided security for world leaders such as President Obama and former President Bush. This event continues today until 2. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Sharon Shin.
And I'm Mahina Haina. Have a great day.
Mm-hmm.